Coming up in the news, more money for social services assistance program. Also, a special group of volunteers honored last night. And the Minister of Tourism getting a taste of the Goombay Summer Festival. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Rolf-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news this evening, in just a few days, the government will increase the rates for the Ministry of Social Services benefits and assistance programs. This hike is said to be a direct response to economic challenges faced by Bahamians. Jolanda Thompson has the story.
Effective August 1st, the Social Services Safety Net program will increase its benefits to 10%. The program is set to provide assistance for those who have been impacted by Hurricane Dorian and the pandemic. The Minister for Social Services and Urban Development, Minister Obi Wilchcombe, says they are fully aware of the financial hardships some Bahamians are facing due to lingering impact of Hurricane Dorian and the COVID pandemic. He explains that the Social Safety Net Benefits Assistance Program will be increased by 10% to provide help to those that are struggling at this time. Wilchcombe also confirming that Social Services has helped over 97,000 persons this year and knows that it speaks to the level of need at this time. He says due to rising inflation throughout the world, he expects there may be an even greater impact in the economy.
We have to understand that the cost of everything has gone up. And as a result, we have to respond. And our response is 10% across the board. And we believe that this first step is important to help Bahamians to have a better way of life.
Minister Wilchcombe says their job is to provide a level of comfort to those in need and somehow ease the burden on those affected by unemployment. He says their overall focus is gross national happiness and encouraging residents to a place of independence.
If we can get them to the point where we understand there's a dependency right now, but our phase is a dependency to independence. To get there, there's a transition. So we want to get people, make them more comfortable, and then work upon getting them jobs, getting them into a position of independence where they can move away from the welfare.
Now, this increase will include several programs, including food supplies, utilities, and individuals to help nurture those wounds.
Our population has been traumatized. There are many people in our country who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of what has happened to them, their loved ones, their children, who have lost their lives as a result of COVID-19. So as I stand here today to thank you for your gift of love, I want you to know that many people are still suffering as a direct result of the ordeal that we have experienced as a nation. I believe it has brought us closer together. I know it has changed my life because I have not only seen it, but I experienced it. And so as we move from where we are and as the government come today, as we did in New Providence, thank you so much from the bottom of our heart for your dedication, hard work, where we remove the partisan politics that sometimes divide us and bring us together on one common mandate, and that is for the good of our brothers and sisters in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It is a wonderful thing to see. And I am so grateful as Minister of Health to be here today, to be invited to be a part of this wonderful evening. You are truly special.
Past immediate area governor of Rotary Club, Billie Jane Ferguson, served as a volunteer, and she says she hopes such partnership will continue.
Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this wonderful service that the community of Grand Bahama had the opportunity to experience. I think because of the volunteers, they made personal calls to their friends and partners and loved ones, encouraging them to come out and be vaccinated. And when those persons showed up, they got the VIP treat. I just want to say, even with my experience volunteering every day, I had an awesome experience coming there to how someone served me. So thank you so much to the Grand Bahama Health Services for allowing us, all of the volunteers and Rotarians, to be a part of this experience. Thank you.
The volunteers are individuals from the Rotary Club, the Pilot Club, the Red Cross, and private organizations. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Julanda Thompson.
Thank you, Landa. Well, a local environmentalist is weighing in on the oil spill that occurred in Exuma waters this week. Executive Chairman of Save the Bays, Joseph Darville, is urging the government to create a contingency plan to address these accidents and possibly avoid them as much as possible. Our Simone Davis picks up the story.
A vessel delivering diesel to the island of Great Exuma spilled around 35,000 gallons, which is over 159,000 liters of fuel in Exuma waters at around 4 a.m. on Wednesday. According to the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, the vessel that was contracted by Sun Oil was offloading fuel for the Bahamas Power and Light Company. Environmentalist Joseph Darville says it is heartbreaking to see such beautiful, clean waters flawed by oil.
When I woke up that morning, I think it was day before yesterday morning, and realized what was taking place, it was like a stab to my heart. Because I had just come from there last week, and in that very same cove area, I had swam with my grandson. But I had gone down to Exuma. And Exuma being one of the most phenomenally beautiful places on planet Earth, and specifically in the Bahamas, it really broke my heart. But that, and we will have accidents, no doubt about it at all. We hope that none in the future will be any bigger than that.
As he reflected on the 2019 East Grand Bahama oil spill that occurred in Equinor South Riding Point facility, Darville stressed the urgent need for the government to provide a contingency plan to efficiently manage these situations.
Unlike Equinor, that happened 2.5 years ago, the government then was extremely negligent. They did not respond hardly at all. There were no commandeering of equipment and personnel until about 3 or 4 days later that the company actually brought in from Florida to deal with the spillage. When you had up to 3 feet of oil sitting on the road and spewing all the way out into hundreds of acres of prime mangroves or our forests. I am still very disturbed by what took place there.
Mr. Darville commended the Davis-Cooper administration for a swift reaction to addressing the oil spill.
I saw the incredible immediate response of the government and all of the agencies necessary to go there to Exuma immediately and deal with that spillage. The way they clean it up still leaves a little quizzical thing in my mind, because I'm wondering what those chemicals were that they used to clean up the oil in addition to sucking off the petrol from the water.
Oil spills are said to be a common but very damaging accident around the world. Reports reveal that the United States experiences thousands of oil spills each year. These oil spills have a major impact on the environment by physically harming plants and animals. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, Exuma MP Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper telling the media that the majority of the diesel has already been removed. He says the Ministry of Environmental Health and the Ministry of Transport are assessing possible penalties in relation to these types of incidents. Switching gears now, leader of the official opposition and member of parliament for Marcos City, the Honorable Michael Pintard, says there remains a need for a greater sense of urgency for the government to address the transformation of the Grand Bahama International Airport. In a statement released this week, Pintard called for the government to provide a plan for redevelopment and involve all stakeholders, as well as the opposition in the process. Our Simone Davis has this story.
The opposition leader, the Honorable Michael Pintard, is urging the government to lay out a macro plan for the overall redevelopment of the airport, which includes the domestic and international terminals, the private aircraft arrival area, and an allocated station for the Bahamas Customs and Immigration Departments.
There has to be a holistic approach, and no approach that does not include multiple stakeholders could be considered a holistic approach. And so it's just an encouragement. We We want the economy of Grand Bahama to rebound, so we are minded to be responsible partners as members of the opposition. We have had experience on Grand Bahama and believe that there are some lessons learned from things accomplished as well as things not executed properly that can benefit any ongoing discussions.
Pintard also calling for other entities, including the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and central government to get involved.
Hand in hand with this greater sense of urgency that is required as it relates to the airport means that there must be more collaborative effort between central government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, as well as other stakeholders. And this collaboration should come against the backdrop of a clearly outlined macro plan for the redevelopment of the overall airport, including the domestic and international terminals, of course, the area where private aircraft arrive, and of course the facilities that house the various public servants who are working to facilitate travel through Grand Bahama.
In his statement, Pintard noting that realistic timelines for the airport project is crucial as it sends clear signals to local and international investors about the seriousness of the government and associated partners. He says these timelines also inject optimism in the local community and Grand Bahamians abroad who are weighing business and personal economic decisions on the basis of paced recovery and development on the island.
So we also believe there has to be a discussion with the industrials who have a significant amount of traffic coming in and out of Grand Bahama, and who through their business relationships are also in a position to recommend players who can give consideration to the government's call for a public-private partnership on the development of different amenities in Grand Bahama, inclusive of developing a new airport. And so it's very important to have all of these stakeholders at the table.
The Grand Bahama MP and opposition leader emphasizing that his party would like to work hand in hand with the government on projects designed for the betterment of the Bahamian people. Well, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, responded to the opposition leader's charge in a statement released this morning, outlining the accomplishments of his administration since taking office last year. Cooper said they have ordered modular offices for displaced workers, installed generators in all areas of the airport, increased airlift services from major gateways, created a plan to build a world-class airport by 2025, coordinated and collaborated with stakeholders to advance the aviation sector, and more. The Deputy Prime Minister says while he appreciates all Grand Bahama stakeholders for offering advice on what they envision for the future of Grand Bahama, the GBIA is in better hands now than it was in the last administration, and the government is actively engaged to improve the facility with immediate fixes and a credible long-term plan. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news, more Cuban migrants found at sea. A U.S. Coast Guard vessel locating the migrants in the area of the Great Bahama Bank and brought the group of 20 to Grand Bahama today. The Cubans were then turned over to immigration officials for processing, and they will be transported to Nassau to await deportation. Well, the Goombay Summer Festival is winding down on Grand Bahama with just 1 week left. The cultural show continues to attract large crowds. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, Minister of State for Social Services and Urban Development Lisa Ramming, and Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, and a host of government officials among those joining in the celebration last night. Azure Quant was there.
It is an exciting evening here at Goombay Summer Festival. Tourists, residents, sponsors, vendors, and even the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable I. Chester Cooper, touching down to join in the excitement.
It is week 3 of the month-long festival, resuming with live entertainment by Sherrod Taylor, Junkanoo by local groups on the island, a variety of Bahamian food, straw work, and many more crafts by local vendors. Eager spectators calling it an invigorating experience.
It is beautiful. We're so thankful to be here, and it's wonderful to experience y'all's culture. Thank you so much for having us.
It's just fun to see so many persons out letting down their hair, enjoying themselves, and just meeting friends. You buck up into persons you haven't seen for a while, and it's just a joy to see smiles on persons' faces.
It's been quite the experience we expected. We knew that Captain Corn was a tourist food, and we didn't miss this time. We're having a wonderful time out here. The people are really enjoying it, the locals and the tourists as well.
This has been a really, really good experience so far. We want all of the businesses to come on out, take advantage of this 3 months free on our Platinum package, and we're just happy to be a part and happy to be a sponsor.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister responsible for tourism, investments, and aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, also giving his take on this year's Goombay, describing it as something Bahamians love. He adds that the Bahamas has been hosting the festival for some 49 years, and it shows Bahamian pride, specifically the authentic Bahamian shirt, which is a brand Bahamians know and love.
This is an exciting time from what I see so far. People are excited. The crowds are huge. I'm told over the first 2 sessions it's been massive crowds, which tells me there's a level of enthusiasm and excitement on the ground here in Grand Bahama. That's what this is all about, reawakening that cultural spirit and that energy.
With more than 40 vendors present, Deputy Prime Minister says this is an economic opportunity for them.
This is a great opportunity. After a while, the economy has been difficult, but people are making money, and that's a good thing for us. We're happy about the culture. We're happy that it's attracting tourists, and it's good for entrepreneurship. And what's good for entrepreneurship, what's good for culture, what's good for tourism, it's good for the Bahamas.
The DPM also expressing that Goombay is an opportunity to showcase heritage and culture, allowing persons to receive the ultimate experience. He also noted that there may be a possible extension of Goombay during the Bahamas' 50th independence celebrations in 2023. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Come on down to Dolly Madison and get your hurricane supplies before it's too late. Don't let supply chain issues cause you to miss out on hurricane supplies you need. Come on down. Now.
No Holds Bar presents Rake and Scrape Reloaded Part 5 with Bahamian songbird Matisse and the infamous Gino D. It all goes down Saturday, July 23rd at 7 o'clock p.m. at No Holds Bar and Lounge, Settlers Way.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man. Not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Try to learn, trying to get better. Don't look at us here, buddy being here. Try to learn from the coaches, learn from us.
Grand Bahama, get ready for the 7th annual Buddy Heal Camp and Clinic. Just jump July 27 to July 29, 2022 at Jack Hayward High Gymnasium, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Guest speakers, prizes, and scholarships. There will be giveaways on Saturday, July 30th at the Rock Plaza 8 Mile Rock Shopping Center, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't miss it.
We sit and we teach and we model biblical truths. That's our role. Our role is to teach and to model, and we're still doing that.
As a nation, from a nation standpoint, we're able to chart our own course and to determine our own future.
I feel like we need to make the love of Christ come alive in our homes,
things in our communities.
I'm Raven Davis, inviting you to tune in to a 3-part series on Bahamian independence, a religious perspective, starting Monday, July 25th, right here on the ZNS Network.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The National Training Agency hosting its 13th cohort graduation ceremony last evening. The training program focuses on creating a productive and service-oriented workforce. There are 3 areas of focus in the program, and our Asher Quant was there to pick up the story.
35 graduates successfully completing 4 weeks of mandatory workforce preparatory program, 10 weeks of teacher's aid program for some, and internship for others. The program serves as a connection between training and the workforce. Minister responsible for Labor and Immigration, the Honorable Keith Bell, charging that the agency continues to be cognizant of and sensitive to the employment needs of the society, providing training and job preparation activities. He adds that it proves to be beneficial for the youth as they strive to fill roles in key areas.
In our society, I think that we have become too subsumed with all of the negativities surrounding our young people. But there are much more, I would submit, much more young persons in our country who are doing so much more positive things, making something of themselves. So therefore, I had to be here.
Minister Bell encouraging the graduates to be proud of their accomplishments and to know that the soft skills acquired are just as essential to employers as academic certificates.
Too often, we in leadership positions receive complaints from employers that the workforce is underproductive with poor attitudes. Never let that be said about any of you. You have received the basic skills training you need to be successful in any job, anywhere you go. Consider yourselves to be fortunate. You now have every right to be proud of this achievement. For this, in my view, is the first step in positioning yourselves to become marketable in the world of work.
Keynote speaker and chairman of NTA, Agatha Marcel, describes the program as rigorous, and although it may have been hard for many, it will carry the graduates far in life.
The NTA has planted a seed in you, and you hold that seed. One of the things we try to instill is that we need to have a little more appreciation and a little more gratitude for the good things that happen in our lives. And if we can be thankful for those things and grateful for those things, God will give us a lot more things.
Marcel, gifting all the graduates with a copy of her book, Ladies and Gentlemen, Please, The ABCs of Becoming a Successful Adult. She says she wrote it as she was leaving Parliament and notes that there is a different message in the book for each student, and whichever message they receive, they can be assured that it was designed specifically for them. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Asher Quant.
In other news, Commonwealth Brewery partnering with the Kiwanis Club of Lucaya for its annual Barefoot Beach Cleanup. More than 50 volunteers gathering at Lovers Beach 8 Mile Walk on Saturday with a shared passion and common goal. At the end of the exercise, some 700 pounds of waste was collected. The Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee also involved in the cleanup. The committee commended Commonwealth Brewery for the community initiative, while noting that it is everyone's business and everyone's responsibility to keep Grand Bahama clean. Now, this is the 10th year for the Grand Bahama cleanup, and coordinators plan to extend the community effort to other islands such as Exuma, Eleuthera, and Abaco. And that's a look at stories making news. Your weekend sports check is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. We have a whole lot of sports updates for you, beginning with the NACAC Track and Field Championship scheduled for August 19th through the 21st here on Grand Bahama.
Let me just say how the government of the Bahamas, in particular the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Ministry of Grand Bahama, under the leadership of the ministers for each respective ministries, the Honorable Mario Boleg, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, are very much involved in making sure that this event that is coming to Grand Bahama August 19th through the 21st is a smashing success. And so there's a lot of work going on here at the track at this time. We're eagerly anticipating Mondo coming in and doing some recertification to the track, some repairs to the track to get it to a level 2 certification for the NACAC Championships, and then also improving the lights out here. We're partnering with the Grand Bahama Power and Light, who've just been awesome in trying to make sure that this event is pulled off under the best conditions possible as it relates to lighting.
Sticking with track and field, Shawnee Miller-Weibo will line up in the women's 400-meter finals tonight at the World Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon. The two-time Olympic gold medalist will be running out of lane 3 for the finals. Race time is 10:15 p.m. tonight, Eastern Time. Switching gears now in softball, the GBASA will kick off its one-pitch tournament this weekend.
The last year we would have done it in honor of Churchill Tenor Oaths. So this year is a tournament and an all-star event. So it's a 2-day event where we have more than 15 teams competing. It's all men and co-ed, and it's no corporate this year. But it's supposed to be an exciting and fun event, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout.
And finally in sports, the Grand Bahama Cycling Association will host another road race this Saturday, July 23rd. The road race will begin at the Farm Road headed east to the New Bridge and will end at the Airport Domestic Terminal. Race time is 9 a.m. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Have a great weekend.
Freeport, a night you've all been waiting for. It's Old School Sunday at Buddy Buckets, each and every Sunday starting at 7 p.m. Come and party at Buddy Buckets in the R&B&C Plaza Call Road.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new, fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Northeast Production.
The summer is back, back. The summer is hot.
Summer's here and we all love it for our freedom, but our parents dread it. While we're home all day and up all night, which means the power bill goes up. But did you know we can help them? Yes, we want snacks. Stay up on our tablets and aimlessly open the fridge, but it all includes energy. That's why GB Power would like to welcome you to Conservation Corner, where conserving energy is cool. If you want to be a part of GBPC's Conservation Corner this summer, ask your parent or guardian to visit the GB Power Smart Home located in the Region Center to collect an activity book that will help you learn how to save. I hope you can join me this summer as we have fun helping our parents save.
If you're thinking of investing in Grand Bahama or any other island, contact Bahama Island Properties for all of your real estate services. Visit their office in the Port Lacaya Marketplace, their website bahamaislandproperties.com, or call them at 374-7653. The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM. Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Sereno Moultrie, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We want to thank you for your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson. Make it a great and enjoyable weekend. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, industrial strife deepens. Legal action considered an Exuma oil spill. BTC to appoint a new GM, and Team Bahamas off to Billie Jean King tourney. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. From airport screeners to bus drivers, nurses, to now teachers. Just weeks ahead of a new academic year, the Bahamas Union of Teachers is threatening action. Our Carla Palmer tells us what's at the crux of the standoff and what a government spokesman has to say about it.
Just a year into office, the Davis-Cooper administration continues to experience its share of industrial unrest in the country by various unions seeking to have their concerns resolved.
7 days we've given the government.
That's the timeline in which the government is expected to respond positively to the outstanding concerns of the BUT. Apparently, negotiations for a new industrial contract between the two entities have reached an impasse, and Wilson tells the media that too much time has passed and she remains resolved in her efforts to have all the benefits requested agreed to.
We have exchanged counter-proposals 8 times. We have been in hundreds of hours of meetings, and we are now ready to sign off on a full proposal so that teachers can receive the much needed salary increases and benefits that they are so worthy of.
The BUT president is adamant that the union will not be standing down any longer and that the teachers will get all that they are entitled to.
That well, we know that we have several options, and when the time arises, we will execute our options.
Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, underscored not only the importance but necessity of unions in representing fundamentally the rights of workers.
It's not our job to have a grip on unions. It's our job to work with them. They're not any creature that you need to get a grip on. They represent workers in this country who have serious concerns. Many of them are long outstanding. They need to be addressed. The government is working to see how best it can address them given its constraints. And so our focus is not to get a grip on them. Our focus is to meet with each one of them and see how best we can resolve the challenges. And that's what's going on right now.
Watson says the government accepts the responsibility of resolving outstanding issues, no matter how long they have been lingering. Just this past week, Airport and Allied Workers Union across the country held industrial action.
Again, I stress, many of these matters are outstanding, years outstanding. And so it takes some time to work through them and to bring resolution. That is Prime Minister Davis's focus, to bring resolution. He believes that they have rights, they have voices, they have concerns, they ought to be respected, they ought to be addressed.
With discussions ongoing, from all indications, it's likely that an amicable resolution will be reached. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
In other news this evening, the Old Navy base beach on Exuma's pristine Georgetown coastline is set to reopen by August 10th. As much was shared during Friday's press briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister, where details of possible penalties are on the table for those ultimately responsible for the spillage. Lloyd Allen has more.
A 400-foot hose was used during the refueling exercise, and at some point during the exercise, the hose broke.
According to Dr. Rihanna Neely Murphy, director of the Department of Environmental Protection and Planning, preliminary findings show roughly 36,000 gallons of diesel were missing from the 115,000-gallon offload intended for BPL. Up to 9:30 Friday, she says 95% of the diesel was removed from waters on Exuma, with additional measures ongoing on and off site.
According to the legislation, there are options for just illegal discharge. So there are fines. The Sun Oil and the companies involved would have to pay for any and all remediation activities that the government would have paid for up until this point, and those moving into the future.
Neely Murphy says mitigation efforts continue.
Sand is also being removed from the site. We had some boreholes placed last night to determine if and where we had diesel. We did find diesel, so we're going to start the activity of removing the sand from the site as well.
She says in 3 weeks, experts are slated to revisit the site.
We're getting into the beginning of the remediation work and the monitoring work, which we expect to continue for a few months into a year.
Again, officials say the spill could have been worse. For now, there are no indications of adverse impact to the environment. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
A local environmental watchdog, Bahamas National Trust, is weighing in on Exuma's oil spill and its possible impact.
We actually approached the scene by boat, and it was shocking. I mean, this seems to be a spill of some significant magnitude, and to see it, happen right here in Elizabeth Harbor, that's so important for this community. We have, tourism happening on either side of this cove, and also, like I said, a national park adjacent. It was just really, really shocking. But at the same time, I was really glad to see that they had moved very swiftly to contain the spill, and that the wind is to our favor in keeping it in a place here in this cove where, the impact has been minimized.
The Ministry of the Environment noting in a statement, meantime, that assessments of the spill's impact to the immediate and near-shore environments and the possible effect on wildlife will continue. Meantime, Booker is hopeful for future mitigation efforts regarding the offloading of environmentally harmful materials.
We are obviously concerned that this gets cleaned up as quickly as possible, and that there isn't a situation where it drifts into other areas. What happens here on the shoreline is, of course, there's lots of organisms that live in the sand, and we don't know how much bird life uses this area, and I think it is concerning for human health as well, because we're sitting here breathing these fumes, and so if we're feeling that, anything that's trying to live in this area is really going to suffer. But I do think we're lucky that it happened here. And I, would hope that this is that we can avoid it impacting other areas as well.
BTC's general manager on the way out. A release this afternoon confirming that Andre Foster will vacate the top post on August 2nd, and this only months after being appointed to the role in 2021. Foster has dedicated over 17 years to BTC's parent company, CWC. He played an instrumental role following Hurricane Dorian and navigating the company throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. The company has also touted its significant strides in the continued expansion of fiber to the home BTC. Now, BTC says it wishes Foster every success in his professional journey, adding that it will announce its new general manager in the coming weeks. More than 5 years after the Construction Contractors Act was passed, the Construction Contractors Boards to be appointed. Recently noting as much, Bahamian Contractors Association President Leonard Sands.
No board exists. So no person can make an application to be a contractor without making an application to the board. Once you appoint the board, you could then make an application to be licensed as a contractor. That's all you need. You need the board in place to make an application. And that's the meeting that we had last. They say, hey, let's do this one last step, and then we'll iron out a lot of things we probably have to do as we go along. But you need to have the body in place to make an application to be licensed.
Now, Sands adds that the BCA will be resubmitting the list of contractors who have previously applied for official licensing, and he maintains that the board is needed to uphold industry standards, protect the public, and provide the best quality of work for the country.
So the minister, being obviously a good attorney, said, hey, let's put the board in place so they could at least receive the applications, and that's why that's eminent for them to do. There's a responsibility on the Bahamian Contractors Association to resubmit the names that we previously submitted, and that letter is being sent to them this week. And so our hands will be off of it, and it's up to then the government to appoint the board based on our recommendation.
Meantime, local contractors will soon have the opportunity to apply for certification courses through a pay-it-forward, so to speak, initiative.
Our Crystal Darling tells us more.
The Bahamas Contractors Association, or BCA, has every intention of picking up from where it left off with skills training for local contractors pre-COVID. 3 years ago, a memorandum of understanding was signed with Disney, the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, and the BCA to provide training for the National Center for Construction Education and Research, or NCCER, certifications. The agreement called for Disney funding the onset of the initiative, BTVI facilitating it, and the BCA putting together a list of 25 contractors to be trained by next month. BCA President Leonard Sand says this is expected to be an ongoing initiative.
Reducing the skills gap. That's the number one thing that we continue to hear from not only members of our politician circle, persons from outside, investors, and persons who are like Disney, who have projects in the tens of millions of dollars that need certified persons, but they don't seem to could find enough certified persons in the country. I think this initiative will solve that problem.
Sand says the first training will be done virtually to remove limitations for Family Island contractors. The plan is for initial NCCER trainers to train local contractor professionals who will in turn train Bahamian contractors, in the end expanding the number to meet the demand.
What Disney is doing in partnering with our leading technical institution, BTVI, is assisting in training Bahamians to train Bahamians. So the first cohort of persons who are going to be NCCR certified trainers is happening next month. The first cohort in 2019 have already been trained by Disney. They're on staff now. Their project manager was in the meeting that I had with them last week, Tuesday, and he's saying we need the next cohort because we need to hire again.
According to the BCA president, the ultimate goal is to have the number of certified Bahamians in the hundreds and thousands. He thanked Disney for assisting in the kickoff of this initiative and explains how this opportunity benefits local contractors.
Because they recognize that once they have the persons who have the NCCR certification, they can come to work from day one and provide valuable service to Disney. So they need the next wave of students to come in who could go to work right away. In fact, they are going to do a job fair next month. So they're looking for this to happen prior to the job fair so they could hire the guys straight off the bat.
Sand says the BCA is looking forward to facilitating opportunities for members and others in the industry in the coming months. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Crystal Darling.
Still to come, an update on Barco's alert and walking for a cause. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
When we talk about Bahamians, we talk about a diverse people with very different dreams and goals. What we have in common, what makes us truly Bahamian in our hearts and in our souls, is our love of this beautiful country, our faith in the Almighty God, and our unshakable belief that we are each our brother's keeper. Happy anniversary of independence, Bahamas. From your family at Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
We need to save.
Whatever happens, be happy. On Crazy Tuesdays, enjoy 10 pieces of crispy fried chicken thighs, legs, and whole wings for only $20. Only on Tuesdays and only at KFC Nassau.
My name is Macumbla Smith. Most people know me as Kumbi. I'm a personal trainer and group fitness instructor, and I am fully vaccinated. I would consider myself in good health. Upon finding out that I had the virus, COVID-19, I was not only shocked, but I was frightened. What changed my mind, or what helped me to decide to get the vaccination, was realizing, because of my career, my work, I'm in close proximity with a lot of mature people. Numerous times I'd find myself in the face of a client, or he or she is in my face. So to protect both of us, I thought it best that I should get vaccinated. I wouldn't wish the experience of contracting the disease on anybody. From my experience, it feels like a death sentence. And especially if you're mature in age or you have underlying symptoms, don't wait any longer. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Now is the time.
National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, is reacting to the U.S. State Department's 2022 Trafficking in Persons report, in which the Bahamas, for the 8th straight year, has maintained its Tier 1 ranking. This means the Bahamas has met the required standard to show its commitment to the elimination of human trafficking. A criticism, however, is that the Bahamas had no new prosecutions and excessive pretrial detentions, due in part to a lack of judges and prosecutors.
Nowhere in the world has there been prosecutions over the last 2 years, including the U.S. The restrictions imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic has affected that. We have issues that relate to resources to try all offenses. And so people, there are complaints about the length of time that all trials take, not just trafficking in persons.
Now, Monroe says the Bahamas is mindful of the observation, but says he's certain the U.S. State Department will be mindful of the challenges all countries face.
And that is delays in the trial process of everything from murder, which is the most serious matter on our calendar, right down to matters of trafficking in person, sexual offenses matters that we are trying to get through the system as well. So we accept all criticism. We try our best to do our best. And of course, we will be seeking to address backlogs. I had a conversation with the incoming Chief Justice at the state reception. There is a whole delay reduction report that contains some ideas that I indicated to him it may be useful that we look at to seek to try to address this issue.
Well, it's a system designed to issue alerts when a child goes missing, and aptly named after a child victim whose story ended tragically. 11-year-old Marco Archer was reported missing September 2011. A week later, he was found dead. Now, some residents have expressed concern they have not been receiving alerts from the Mandatory Aggressive Action for Rescuing Children operation, or Marco's Alert. Well, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, says testing is being conducted for iPhones as they were awaiting a sign-off from Apple. But for those with Android phones, it's just a matter of adjusting your phone's settings.
If you have an Android phone and you didn't receive the notification, it's because you have to go in and set your phone to receive these types of notices. ACP Chicago Dames at the press conference at the rollout walked persons through how it could be done. And so the alert did go out. There was some confusion that it was called an Amber Alert. That was on the receivers, on the provider side who's providing it. In retrospect, that might be appropriate because the alerts go out to everyone's phones. And visitors from the U.S. would be familiar with Amber Alerts. They won't be familiar with Marco's Alert. So that is a matter of discussion as to whether that nomenclature will be retained or whether it would be changed.
Well, that there brings us to school safety and attendance, two issues high on the agenda when the new school year opens in the next few weeks. And as Education Minister, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin reveals, this calls for implementing additional measures on campuses.
The school safety plan, which is currently in place in every school, which designates protocols to promote safety and effective responses, is under review for update in light of recent challenges that we face. The ministry is also reviewing proposals for CCTV in schools, and that is now underway. Madam Speaker, there will be a zero tolerance for school violence.
Early in the year, police officers returned to a number of public schools following acts of violence on those campuses. The education minister says additional officers will also be deployed to enhance the ranks of the current cadre.
Plans are underway for the training this summer and certification of additional officers, about 30 of them, who will be certified, specifically trained for school campuses and for young populations, and for the design of safety curriculums that SROs, these officers, will deliver during the course of the summer. So they will not just have a physical presence, they will be specifically trained for school campuses and the interactions and dynamics with young people, but they will also deliver curriculums dealing with bullying and other matters of that nature.
On the health scene, just 12 new COVID cases in country, and all right here in the capital. Also down is the number of COVID hospitalizations, which based on the numbers on the July 21st dashboard is now at 54, all but one of the sick listed as moderately ill. Active cases and recoveries, 422 and 25 respectively. Well, outside of COVID, there are still a myriad of other diseases and illnesses health officials are hoping to do away with, and this includes cervical cancer. On the local scene, the Bahamas backs the United Nations goal of eliminating cervical cancer by 2030. The nationwide campaign to do so is being championed by Anne-Marie Davis of the Office of the Spouse of the Prime Minister. Spouses of CARICOM Leaders Action Network, or SCLAN, of which Mrs. Davis is a member, have begun discussions on how to accelerate actions in this regard. Cervical cancer occurs in the cells of the cervix. Individuals can reduce their risk of developing the disease by having screening tests and receiving a vaccine that protests against the human papillomavirus or HPV infection. The target is young people from the age of 10. And speaking of cancer, after 2 long years away, participants can finally look forward to CIBC First Caribbean's flagship event. Officials today announcing the return of the financial institution's Walk for the Cure event that's slated to be better than ever. The October 1st event will mark the 9th installment of the Fun Run Walk, where proceeds go to a number of local cancer support charities, including the Cancer Society of the Bahamas. But despite its 2-year hiatus, CIBC managed to raise $55,000 for the designated charity organizations. Still, this year, officials are looking to top that goal and perhaps even surpass their pre-pandemic numbers for a total donation of $100,000.
The funds generated from the Walk for the Cure are truly life-changing. They are used to provide assistance, care, and counseling to cancer survivors, patients, and their families. We are appealing to corporate Bahamas and members of the public to partner with us to support the Walk for the Cure and help raise critical funds to support our cancer patients.
Officials of cancer support organizations sharing the importance of such events.
As you know, we depend on donations entirely to continue our efforts to encourage and educate. That's the purpose of the Cancer Society, to educate, encourage, and to assist wherever we can people that were diagnosed with cancer and lack the ability to afford treatment.
So your funds actually help us to support cancer patients in a special way. Not only your funds, but the walk itself. We come out in numbers in our sunflowers representing.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Firstly, I wanted to come to check on the vendors. It's been a difficult period coming out of COVID, so I wanted to see that the level of activity that we're hearing about is translating really to the homes of the people we hope will benefit as a result of the tourist boom. So I've been pleased so far with what I've seen. We see the magnificent development of the port here at Prince George Wharf, and many of the vendors who were previously displaced and who previously had complaints about their displacement, I was pleased to see that many of them have settled in. They're making money. They're looking forward to the new port development. But in the meantime, they're feeding their families. They're sending their children to school. They're able to provide for all of their needs. And some of them are even sending children to college as a result of the money that they're making in these parts. Things are coming back. We are feeling the excitement of the rebound in tourism. And today I wanted to come out and feel that and experience it.
It is never easy to witness nature's wrath. One single named path of destruction over the course of a few hours, sometimes minutes, sometimes seconds, can change your life forever. There's nothing you can do to prevent a hurricane from being destructive by nature, but there is something you can do to protect your assets and ensure safety for not only yourself, but also the ones you love. When disaster strikes, be prepared. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a can drive coming up and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. Cause if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Over the Independence weekend, various vendors at Portersky Dock came together to host a showcase. Their sole goal is to restore Portersky Dock to its former glory.
The outcome and the goal from this event is to show that Portersky is now unified. Portersky stands together, solidarity together, and they are looking forward to revamping, re-energizing, and rebuilding Portersky.
This event has been held in years prior, however, has been halted in recent years due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
And this is an event that has not just started today. This is an event that started from 2018 under the formal name of Archie's Come Cracking Contest. They had an event in 2018, they had an event in 2019, and then 2020-21 was the pandemic year, and now we're back with under a new team, the Extravaganza, Portersky Extravaganza.
The hosts of this event are grateful to their sponsors, supporters, and all those who played a part in making the event a success.
This committee is excited to get Portersky back up and running, and we want you to know that Portersky vendors are now together. They're unified. They're working together in harmony and peace. It's not a two-union thing. It's the vendors thing.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Georgie O'Bain.
Great July celebrations start with the savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Hellman's Mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $5.89. Best Value Whole Kernel Corn, 15 ounce, $1.09. Danish Spare Ribs, $2.59 per pound. Red or green seedless grapes, $2.99 per pound. Fresh pork shoulders, $1.79 per pound. Find your favorites at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Disney Cruise Line still celebrating the launch of the latest addition to its fleet, the Disney Wish, with a recent plaque and key exchange ceremony at the Nassau Cruise Board. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, and others got an up-close look at the 1,119 feet long ship that takes the Disney experience to a whole other level. President of Disney Signature Experiences, Thomas Maslom, says the Disney Wish gives guests more opportunities to explore the beauty the Bahamas has to offer. He also announced how Disney's new Wishes Set Sail campaign, targeting youth in its port communities, will benefit young Bahamians.
Our efforts are going to focus immensely on empowering students to reach their academic goals, to really make sure we engage them in workplace development opportunities and inspire these future leaders for the hospitality and the maritime industry. As part of the Wishes Set Sail, we're funding junior activity programs on Eleuthera, Abaco, and right here in Nassau, okay? Because, you know, these programs, what they're gonna do is they're gonna train young people in financial literacy, in business operations, entrepreneurship, from elementary school all the way up to high school. That's what it's really all about.
The Deputy Prime Minister says the country's relationship with Disney deepened with the purchase of Castaway Cay in the 1990s. Despite the pandemic, he says Disney was committed to its developments in the Bahamas while not forgetting its environmental commitments.
Disney committed $350 million to building a destination that left 80% of the pristine land at Lighthouse Point unspoiled, and to spend whatever was necessary to mirror the Bahamas' commitment to environmental stewardship. And for that, I think they ought to be commended as well. This is a great day for Disney, a great day for the Bahamas, and a great day for our partnership, and another milestone in the storied relationship that has only grown stronger over time. So I say, congratulations.
The 10 contestants for the Miss Bahamas Universe 2022 competition paying a courtesy call on the wife of the Prime Minister, the patron of this year's event. Lloyd Allen has more.
Yes. That platform speaks to what we are going through globally. And this in itself is an enrichment program.
That was Business Development Director for the Miss Bahamas Universe organization, Loretta Thomas, who, along with National Director Anthony Smith, arranged a courtesy visit to the office of the spouse of the Prime Minister with this year's contestants. Their goal, to showcase the diversity in the young women who, beyond their beauty, are passionate about national development. Smith adds that the organization has long identified in its patron, Anne-Marie Davis, a similar passion, and this year, he says MBU is returning to its roots.
The goal was always to return it to that state. When Ms. Thomas and I discussed it about wanting to go to those genteel years, going to those times when, of course, it was under the patronage of one of our respected ladies, and we were very excited simply because we know how passionate you are about your community projects. Mental health and wellness has been an overarching theme for this pageant as well.
Davis was elated as she was selected as a role model for the young beauties.
I am very happy and thrilled that you chose me to be your patron this year. I happen to be very much interested in the development of young people, especially your young women, to see how they're empowered, for them to display their talents and what they have learned during their journey so far.
Their platforms proving unique and on top with many issues facing the nation and the world.
With my platform, I would like to open the minds of Bahamians, letting them know that it is okay for you to have several streams of income.
I'm forming a Bahamian chair team, and it's a different approach.
Yes.
Because it's not really seen within the Bahamas chairing, and it's a way for the public to realize that there are different fields of the art
My platform is called Motion for Change, and it's centered around instilling good habits and good qualities in kids to prevent chronic diseases.
I want to raise awareness to where as Bahamians not only save for a rainy day, but as we see now, we need to save for a rainy year.
Long Islanders depend not just on the beauty, but on the bounty of Long Island to survive. So I wanted to promote conservation in the Bahamas.
Thankful for the visit, Davis says she's looking forward to the competition night.
Just to see our young ladies who have been working so hard, so focused on your platforms, preparing, understanding what you're about, and just getting ready physically, mentally. I want to see your mental toughness. I can't wait to see that. And to hear you answer your questions with all the intelligence that you have. I look forward to that as well.
The big night announcing the new Miss Bahamas Universe 2022-2023 is July 31st at the Atlantis showroom. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Any?
Yeah, man. Boy, what that is?
Oh, that's rambutan. It hairy.
Miss, what you doing? Move that from me.
You scared of fruit waddle?
No, boy. Needles. That thing look like a bunch of them.
So I guess you gonna be taking the vaccine then?
And leave hole in my arm? You ain't serious.
Waddle, stop. That's why you ain't taking the vaccine? You won't feel nothing?
I ain't scared. I just don't like needles.
Waddle, it takes seconds. Then you got better protection against a deadly virus. Ooh, cassava. So what if I go with you to get the vaccine?
Go with you? I ain't sure.
Don't worry. I ain't gonna tell Lisa I told your hand.
I ain't on your run. Pay the people.
What? Waddle. Well, if I pay for this, we going to the clinic now.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. A message by the WHO, Canada, and USAID.
Going crazy. I just ain't going nowhere. Street Side Pizza is officially open. I outside waiting till they come back in the morning. I ain't going nowhere. The authentic Italian pizza location. Street Side Pizza located East Bay Street.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
A loss for former Long Island MP Larry Cartwright. An early morning fire destroyed his 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Grays, Long Island, and this despite the efforts of officers and volunteers to extinguish the blaze. As for what led to the fire, well, that's under investigation. The government's ending its dome housing program in Abaco as the Disaster Reconstruction Authority has partnered with several other government agencies to begin constructing permanent homes in Spring City. Office of the Prime Minister's Press Secretary Clint Watson making the announcement on behalf of DRA Chairman Alex Dorr.
A team will be included, which include the Ministry of Transport and Housing, the Ministry of Social Services, the Disaster Reconstruction Authority, and the Prime Minister's Delivery Unit began conducting assessments of the dome occupants in February this year to understand the needs of the occupants and to ensure a seamless and smooth transition. Representatives will hold individual meetings with each dome occupant next week to discuss their relocation plans and the assistance of the government that the government will provide in this process.
Leading San Salvador resort property, Club Med Columbus Isle, is gearing up for its October reopening after shutting its doors January 2021, in the process terminating nearly 200 staff. Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union President Darren Wood says a few weeks back he was in a conference call with the property's principal who advised about the planned reopening. Now, the union leader says the property has also started advertising available positions.
Of course, a concern to us would have been, well, not from us, coming from the employees, we have to apply. And so we said to them, yes, you have to now reapply because, of course, you're now a new employee. And we believe that most of, if not all of the employees will be going back because when you look at San Salvador, that the pool that they have to pull from is kind of small. And so what you find is persons on the island would be able to get second jobs as they would have in the past.
Wood says there will be additional meetings in the coming weeks between the union and property owners, as well as the owners, vendors, and contractors in an effort to get the property where it needs to be. He says as the resort was the top employer on San Salvador, its reopening will provide a significant economic boost. From the union's end, Wood says he hopes to see more Bahamians elevated as Club Med looks to hire about 200 to 220 employees.
We're trying to see how many of those from the GOs in terms of management team can be also Bahamian because, they employ because of the language. And what we found in the past that a lot of the natives or the Bahamians have learned the second language in order to be promoted to the next level.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We are currently under partly cloudy skies. The temperature at 88 degrees, relative humidity 65%. We have easterly winds at 9 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,019.4 millibars. That's 30.10 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 85 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Atoll Key in Abaco, Marsh Harbor, Abaco at 86 degrees. In the Berry Islands, 84 degrees. Allenstown, Bimini, around 87 degrees. 87 also in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 89. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space at Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros at 86 degrees. 88 in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma, 87 degrees. 86 in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Meguana, 88. Acklands, 88. Matchitani, Nago, 86. And the Turks and Caicos Islands also reporting 86 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center in the Northwestern Islands tonight, right through Sunday. Southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. The low tide would take place at 10:50 tonight, another low tide at 10:42 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands through Sunday, east to southeast winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So caution flags are in place for boaters in the central and southeastern islands through Sunday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by World Star Assurance.
Everybody chatting and winding to the rake and scrape in the graveyard inn. The music's all sweet, everybody's sculling, drinking up the sky juice. We got to ride in. Oh, I get to ride in. I can't go home 'cause I get to ride in. My head's spinning 'cause I right in. Oh, I get to ride in. Hey!
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures. Brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a Can Drive coming up, and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
Please. Wado, you want any?
Yeah, man. Boy, what that is?
Oh, that's rambutan. It hairy ate.
Miss, what you doing? Move that from me.
You scared of fruit, Wado?
No, boy. Needles. That thing look like a bunch of them.
So I guess you could be taking the vaccine then.
And leave hole in my arm? You ain't serious.
Wado, stop. That's why you ain't taking the vaccine? You won't feel nothing?
I ain't scared. I just don't like needles.
Wado, it takes seconds. Then you got better protection against a deadly virus. Ooh, cassava. So what if I go with you to get the vaccine?
Go with you? I ain't sure.
Don't worry. I ain't gonna tell Lisa I told you, hon.
I ain't on your run. Pay the people.
What? Wado. Well, if I pay for this, we going to the clinic now.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. A message by the WHO, Canada, and USAID.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Please. Wado, you want any?
Yeah, man. Boy, what that is?
Oh, that's rambutan. It hairy ate.
Miss, what you doing? Move that from me.
You scared of fruit, Wado?
No, boy. Needles. That thing look like a bunch of them.
So I guess you could be taking the vaccine then.
And leave hole in my arm? You ain't serious.
Wado, stop. That's why you ain't taking the vaccine? You won't feel nothing?
I ain't scared. I just don't like needles.
Wado, it takes seconds. Then you got better protection against a deadly virus. Ooh, cassava. So what if I go with you to get the vaccine?
Go with you? I ain't sure.
Don't worry. I ain't gonna tell Lisa I told you, hon.
I ain't on your run. Pay the people.
What? Wado. Well, if I pay for this, we going to the clinic now.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. A message by the WHO, Canada, and USAID.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
Ordinary People is back with a new season. Join us on the ZNS Network.
Everybody drugs the most. Not New York's bestsellers, the hood bestseller.
I like that. Coming soon.
People are only going to say yes or no. And if they say no, keep on trying until you get a yes.
Ordinary People.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Good evening, everybody. This is your TGIF Look at Sports. I'm Charles Fisher, and we're all hoping it will be a good Friday evening, and we will be celebrating later on this evening. That's because Shawnee Miller Uibo will run out of lane number 3 of the 400-meter finals. That race will go at 10:15 in Eugene, Oregon at the World Athletics Track and Field Championship. Shawnee comes in with the fastest time out of the semifinals, a season's best 49.55. Once again, she will be in lane number 3. Race time is 10:15. Our Billie Jean King Tennis Cup team left today for the Dominican Republic as competition will get underway on Monday. Leading the team is player captain Simone Pratt, who is up for the challenge.
It feels great to be able to, travel first time as a coach and be able to take care of my teammates and also be able to play as a player as well on the team. So I'm really looking forward to that. I talked to Marvin Rule and I spoke with Kerry Cartwright as well, and they gave me quite a few tips on, what to do and what to expect, and so really looking forward to using those tips that they gave me. I think it's a great team, and I believe we're gonna all blend well together and go out there and really execute for the country.
Sydney Clark is back again and hoping the experience will carry her through.
I feel pretty prepared, being able to play over the years and even playing with some of the girls, my competitors from juniors. So I feel as though we have a great chance, a great shot at taking the title this year. And once we make a plan and work hard, we'll be fine. I know that some of the teams like Venezuela, Peru, the competition is really high. Some of the girls are either in college like me or playing professionally. So, like I said, it's great to be able to compete at a high level, and I just want to see where I stand.
Ilana Maki ready to hit the court, she too with experience.
I've been practicing a lot, so I think I'm really prepared. I feel pretty confident that we can do well and that we could advance probably into the semifinals or finals in this tournament. I know some of the levels of the other teams and the type of players they have, so I think I know what type of balls to expect and how to play in order to carry out for my team to win.
16-year-old first-timer Sierra Donaldson ready to get her first taste of international team tennis.
This is a real extraordinary opportunity for me. I just want to really learn and grow from this experience. I'm amongst really great tennis players, so I feel like this is going to be a really fun trip, and I want to learn and just grow and move on from there.
And how does she feel playing with the big girls?
I think they're amazing, honestly. I love Simone and Sydney and Alana. When I was younger, I really looked up to them, so it's really amazing to be with them, as a really young tennis player.
The Kevin K.J. Johnson basketball camp closing out at the C.I. Gibson Gym. Lots of youngsters between the ages of 5 and 19, both boys and girls, able to enjoy 3 weeks of fun and basketball.
I am so happy and thankful to God that we were able to do it this year in a safe environment. At the end of the day, it's about these kids learning the game of basketball. First of all, they understanding discipline, they understanding to be together and God, putting God first in their life and everything they do, and just pushing and continue to teach the game of basketball the right way. And we try our best to teach them the fundamentals and the skills of basketball, and hopefully they will continue to grow and get better. And hopefully you'll see some more Kai Jones, DeAndre Ayton, Buddy Hield, Jonquel Jones, these professional basketball players moving on, giving themselves a chance.
Head instructor Mark Hanna having as much fun as the campus.
I'm very happy. Our numbers were about 120, and the kids came and they worked hard. The parents really supported the camp very well, and I'm very pleased. The kids were very excited to be back in the camp. We have a lot of first-time campers, so it was a challenge trying to get them to focus on the fundamentals and really trying to teach the game. But above all, we had fun. They stuck with it. One thing I like about sports, especially basketball, we have kids from all over Nassau. We have kids from the private school, from the government school, from Camp Road, South Beach, Elizabeth Estates, Foxhill. So when these kids come together, they create bonds and friendship that goes beyond basketball.
And that's going to do it for sports on a Friday. Getting set to watch this 400-meter finals with Shawnee Miller, Uebo, in lane number 3. Race time is 10:15. Hoping we have a great evening, everybody.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
These Lenny?
Yeah, man. Boy, what that is?
Oh, that's rambutan. It hairy ate.
Miss, what you doing? Move that from me.
You scared of fruit waddle?
No, boy. Needles. That thing look like a bunch of them.
So I guess you ain't gonna be taking the vaccine then.
And leave hole in my arm? You ain't serious.
Waddle, stop. That's why you ain't taking the vaccine? You won't gonna feel nothing?
I ain't scared. I just don't like needles.
Waddle, it takes seconds. Then you got better protection against a deadly virus. Ooh, cassava. So what if I go with you to get the vaccine?
Go with you? I ain't sure.
Don't worry. I ain't gonna tell Lisa I told your hand.
I ain't on your run. Pay the people.
What? Waddle. Well, if I paying for this, we going to the clinic now.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. A message by the WHO, Canada, and USAID.
On your marks.
Influenza, or the flu as it is commonly called, is a viral illness that usually occurs between the months October to March. The virus is transmitted from person to person through coughing, sneezing, or talking. Symptoms include fever, cough, headache, runny nose, generalized body aches, and fatigue. There is no specific treatment for the flu, and the symptoms usually dissipate after 3 to 7 days. Because it is caused by a virus, antibiotics are not used to treat the flu. Persons are encouraged to rest and drink lots of fluids. Panadol is recommended for fever and body aches associated with the flu. However, aspirin should be avoided due to the risk of bleeding. To decrease the spread of flu, persons are encouraged to get their flu shot annually and practice good cough hygiene. Additional information can be provided by your community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Time now for weather.
And our final look at weather in the tropics. We still have a couple of tropical waves out there, but nothing to be concerned about. The reason being we still have that stubborn Sahara dust, coupled with the strong upper level winds, which will keep a lid on it over the next 5 days or so. A satellite picture, nevertheless, showing some moisture over the extreme northwest part of our country, and that's associated with an upper level trough, which will remain in the area through Tuesday of next week. And so we will see pockets of showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. Elsewhere, high pressure in control. We have some brisk winds in the central and southeast parts of the country, which will also last for the next few days. The forecast for tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy conditions, a couple of thunderstorms in the area, particularly north of us, 79 degrees for the low. And tomorrow, we're looking at a thunder shower in spot, particularly in the morning, otherwise partly sunny and a bit on the breezy side later on in the afternoon. 89 degrees for your high temperature. The extended weather forecast, isolated showers on Saturday becoming more numerous on Sunday afternoon. That will carry over into Monday, and we will not see any letting up in those showers until about Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. Thereafter, the skies will open up middle of the week. We'll look at lots of sunshine working its way back into our forecast. Makishla.
Oh, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.